Namaste and warm welcome in my presentation. I am Thir Bahadur Khadka, MPhil in English, second semester at Nepal Open University. Uh, Today, I would like to make a short presentation on a manifesto of humanities by Dario Martinelli. So, respected Guru Tara Prasad Adhikari and all my friends, I would like to begin with the introduction of the author. Uh, the author Dario Martinelli was born in March 1st, 1974. He is a popular Italian semiotician, musicologist, and a composer. He is also the director of the International Semiotic Institute and professor at Kaunas University of Technology. And he is also affiliated to the other universities like the University of Helsinki and the University of Lapland. At the same time, he has also affinity with the other academic institutions. This man did his graduation at Bologna University in 1999, and he also did his PhD at Helsinki University in 2002. Martinelli uh, has also published various articles as well as books. Most of his publications, let's say, deal with various fields such as music, film studies, semiotic, animal studies. And recently, he has published a book that is about a research platform called Humanities, which brings rethinking of the role and paradigm of humanities in the modern society. So, the present chapter of Manifesto of Humanities is extracted from Martinelli's book, Arts and Humanities in Progress, which was published in 2016. And it introduces a research concept called humanities. And humanities is, let's say, introduced as a possible attempt to overcome the current scientific, social, and institutional crisis of the humanities. It means humanities have faced various challenges, crises in the present scenario worldwide in the academia. Okay, and the writer Martinelli somehow tries to identify the various challenges of humanities, as well as he has also talked about the strength of humanities, so that again humanities can be brought in the front line, and that could contribute for the betterment of the entire human society, including academia as well as outside the academic platform. The writer Martinelli argues that there are various challenges for humanities in the present society, such as the lack of economic relevance, socio-institutional perception of humanities as impractical and unemployable. Likewise, no proper match with technological development, radical reduction of funding from the institutions, decreasing number of students, as well as the loss of centrality in society. Okay, these are the major challenges for humanities nowadays. However, humanities is very much strong academic field that has the ability of promoting critical thinking as well as analytical reasoning. Humanities can provide knowledge and understanding of democracy, social justice, as well as develop leadership, cultural and ethical values. Okay, these are some of the strengths of humanities, and these strengths also justify that humanities should be preserved again by dealing with various crises, or let's say removing those crises, and by strengthening its strength. Martinelli says that the project of humanities is in fact new humanities. Okay, so humanities means new humanities, and it is supposed to consider multiple dimensions of humanities. That also needs self-critical assessment. Means the humanists themselves have to evaluate their roles. Okay, what the roles they have played and what they have to do, and something like that. So they have to unify various fields, approaches, and potentialities under the domain of humanities, that is new humanities, and the crisis should be removed. And this project of humanities should be made more relevant, dynamic, as well as contextual. And in fact, the concept of humanities has been introduced not as a theoretical paradigm, but it is introduced as an umbrella concept that incorporates many existing new fields and research trends that are also addressing the same problems. And one of the important things that the writer says here is that post-humanism, humanism, and transformational humanities, okay, which are somehow the new fields as well as research trends. These are not the competitors of humanities. Rather, these are the ways of humanities. So, humanities can incorporate them, their features, and also make itself strong. The writer deals with some of the points and begins with the first point, and this is rethink the position of the humanities in modern society. So, what is the position of humanities in the present society, in the modern society? The writer begins with introducing humanities, saying that this, let's say, humanities consist of the study of language, literature, history, film, civics, philosophy, religion, arts, and many more. By incorporating the study of multiple subjects, okay, various subjects, various areas, it enables people to sharp their creativity and develop their critical perspective, to look at their own life, to look at the society, to look at the world, as well as their own position in this world. So humanities can give this perspective to human being. This is one of the most important strength of humanities. Likewise, using both observational and experimental method, okay, and examining and often predicting the behavioral as well as organizational process. Humanities, moreover, could help people to understand what it means to be human. So it helps us to know actually who we are. So what it means to be human, and it also can help us to get connected with the global community, global human community. So this is the let's say significance of humanities. Although humanities have important roles in research and everyday practices, the philosophers, poets, and humanists have lost their dignity. This is the tragic fact that is taking place in the present society. And people have been looking at these people with pity also. However, the writer says that no, that very lost dignity has to be recovered at any cost. And it is possible if the existing crisis can be addressed. It is possible if the humanists think the current position and the roles of humanities from all the fields. It is possible if they have appropriate choice of research topics, appropriate approach to write a project application, and appropriate way of reading and interpreting the world. And for this, they have to relocate, redefine, modernize, and revitalize the field of humanities. The writer often cites from Epstein and says that human beings have done radical things in the world. They have came up with artificial intelligence, artificial organism, new forms of life, and holistic human like creatures. Okay, it shows the creative potentiality of human being, and this creative potentiality somehow sheds light on the possibility that again the field of humanities can be developed, it can be redefined, okay, and it can enhance the role of humans in the transformation of the universe and their own nature also. In fact, Epstein's agenda is often identified with main 8 objectives. They can be, they are to focus specifically on the potential of the humanities to transform the objects of their study, to address problems of technical enhancement and like this, okay, to respond swiftly to significant new trends, to develop new disciplines in the humanities that respond to the socio-cultural challenges of the 21st century. Somehow these 8 objectives try to develop the position of humanities and again try to make this discipline or this field of study more vital one in the present society. And these objectives are set by a project that is under his Center for Humanities Innovation at Durkheim University. There is a second project also, that is Dutch Society of Arts and Science. And this project has raised significant issue and endeavor in the field of humanities in order to make it permanent. The major emphasis or the effort of this second project, Dutch Society of Arts and Science, is establishing humanities as interdisciplinary field of study that could incorporate every sort of modern research, and that could also use various methods, okay, which originated in both social sciences as well as natural sciences. So one thing that is noticeable here is that it tries to incorporate even the methods of natural sciences, not only the methods of social sciences. Okay. New directions in humanities, okay, is the third project that also tries to develop the position of humanities, okay, in the present society. And this third project revolves around, it moves around, okay, it deals with the website thehumanities.com. And this has three main outlets also. That is one is the International Conference on New Directions in the Humanities. Another one is a variety of publications. Means this third project not only goes on organizing the international conference, rather it goes on publishing different things related to humanities. For example, 7 peer-reviewed journals, as well as a book series published by Common Ground Publishing Books, consisting 14 titles. Okay, like 40 titles, and likewise a community called New Directions in the Humanities Knowledge Community. These three are the major, let's say, we can say outputs. These are the three major achievements of this third project. So and this third project, okay, was born in 2003 with the main purpose of developing the innovative practices and setting a renewed agenda for the future of humanities that tries to develop the relationship of humanities with science and technology, economy, and commerce. It means the perception is that humanities can be more permanent if it develops its connection to science and technology also. Science and technology also have to be incorporated within this field. Economy and commerce, okay, these things also come very tightly under this field, and this field has to be made more interdisciplinary or more multidisciplinary. And for this, humanities has to be made a kind of forum. It should be made a kind of platform, not just a single subject or something like that. Rather, it has to be a forum, it has to be a platform, and it should be able to incorporate these various things: science and technology, economy and commerce, okay. It has to include not only the research methods or the paradigms of social sciences, rather it has to incorporate those methods or the paradigms taking from natural sciences also, okay. As a whole, these three projects have played significant role somehow to, let's say, bring forth this field of humanities in a new way, and it has to be developed as a humanities according to the writer. And the second point that the writer deals with, reestablish the dialogue between humanities and the institutions. The writer says that the major problem in the current crisis of humanities is the result of their decreasing fruitful interaction with their institutional interlocutors. Means humanities does not have, okay, proper communication with the, let's say, with its institutional interlocutors like establishment, funding sources, or the management. In somehow there are certain lapses, okay? And the institutions also, they do not they are not appreciating the importance of uncountable value created by the humanities. They are just saying that humanities cannot produce a very fruitful thing, and thus only a small, insignificant portion of public funds are allocated to humanistic research. Okay. However, the writers say that uh, if we want to solve the problem, we have to begin with self-critical attitude before criticizing the system. So there is the system that a kind of system is developed that humanistic researches are paid less attention. Only very small and very insignificant portion of public funds are allocated. However, before criticizing this system, before criticizing this sort of perception towards humanities, the humanists should think about themselves. So self-critical attitude is necessary here. And the writer argues that he says that for the marginalized position of humanities, okay, the major responsibility goes to the humanists themselves. It goes to their laxity, their short-sightedness, their recklessness, and their laziness. What the humanists did, even in the prosperous financial times, they just worried about themselves. They worried about their own position, their own ego, and they failed to pave any path for future generations. They used the general lack of institutional control for their own profit. They did not care to treat their own research teaching activities in terms of intellectual and economic investment. The institutions are thus granting very less and less funds to humanities since they sense a lack of concreteness and profitability of the field. Okay. However, the writers say that okay, there might be the weaknesses of the humanists themselves. Okay. It means there is the necessity of reforming this field of study. However, if somebody undermines the significance of the researches under humanities, this is to put blind eyes on tons of humanistic research output which were conceived with an empirical, foresighted, and applied mind. So humanities gave birth to philosophy. Okay? Philosophy got birth under humanities. It developed in its affinity with the concept of moral conduct, political decision making, healthy lifestyle, social interaction, and educational process. If people accept the importance of philosophy, then how can they neglect the importance of the source that generated the birth of philosophy, that gave birth to philosophy? Definitely not. So humanities should not be undermined. The importance of humanities should be considered. The another, let's say, problem that came in the field of humanities is also because of the division of intellectuality into the categories like anti-establishment, bohemian outcast, and business-oriented managers of knowledge. And the writer says that there is the lack of proper communication between these two separate categories. Okay, and the lack of proper communication between these categories also have resulted into the let's say marginal position of humanities. And now, okay, the responsibility for all the humanists or the intellectuals is that humanists should step ahead from bohemian outcast and they have to turn into the managers of knowledge. It means a kind of middle path has to be taken, and the proper communication between these two separate intellectual divisions, okay, has to be brought. And if the humanist can be the managers with wider knowledge as well as the intellectuals and practical knowledge and of course management skill, then the field of humanities can come ahead. Okay, and it can be done uh, uh, with the use of new humanities. Okay, that is humanities. The third point that the writer deals with, learn or relearn the noble arts of empirical and applied approaches. And here he says that academic knowledge was traditionally divided into two main areas. One was humanities and another was natural science. Okay. However, by now, social sciences also have become a credible third field. Means at present, there is humanities, natural science, and of course, social sciences. And social sciences have come under humanities. A few centuries ago, all the sciences were the branches of philosophy, and now even philosophy is regarded as a subgroup of humanities, and thus. And now the real scenario is like this: sciences are growing more and more influential. They are developing as autonomous and sophisticated areas of study, while somehow humanities and social sciences are put in backward position. In the past, intellectuals belong to both humanities and natural sciences. This is the fact, and the people of the intellectuals at present, they have to consider this reality. There were many scholars, they are very famous: Francis Bacon, Galileo Galilei, Rene Descartes, okay, Leibniz, Newton, Isaac Newton, David Hume. We all know him, and there were so many other philosophers also, and uh, those philosophers as well as their philosophical contributions for humanities is also well known. For example, the contribution of Kant, okay, the contribution of Schopenhauer, Ludwig, Heidegger, and Sartre. We all know how much contribution those let's say scholars did in the past. Okay, they belong to both humanities as well as natural science. It means, it shows that the proper connection and the communication or the collaboration uh, uh, between these two fields is possible. So it shows the possibility of the, let's say, collaboration or the cooperation between these fields, and the humanities can incorporate many trends or the features of natural sciences also. And for the a long time, humanities in the past maintained a clear centrality within intellectual inquiry also. Liberal arts were regarded as the base of personal realization, education, and citizenship, and humanists were regarded as intellectuals in the society. But what happened? Slowly and gradually, or little by little, that centrality turned into marginality. It's because the main reason is that humanists detach themselves from the reality. They detach themselves from current concerns, socially relevant matters, and empirical evidence, while the sciences became more and more able to go to the opposite way. And even they are increasingly understood in the let's say process of development at present also. And at present, humanities, they do not seem to be able to speak to the world with the language of constructiveness and concreteness. Okay, in this situation, the writer sees the necessity of humanities that can combine the conceptual inquiry with empirically based scholarship, which have certain similarities as well as differences. It means, humanities basically, that is following a library research, and empirical researches that basically comes under natural sciences. Okay, these two fields seem somehow different. However, the writer's point is that even the field of humanities can incorporate various features of natural sciences. Okay, empirical research also can come under library, or sorry, in the field of humanities, that can make the field of humanities more strong. These two fields, they have certain something in similarity and something in difference, such as in terms of let's say library based research that is typical in the humanities, begins with encountering okay, dissonance, defines the problem, defines the research questions. Okay, in another side, the same thing happens. Okay, that is in empirical research. And in the we can see in the fourth let's say number, that library based research, let's say, it goes on planning the research of conducting research of published ideas and others observations, while in empirical research, okay, the data are collected directly by the observation. Okay, so observation activity is given more importance there, the product and the other phenomena. So direct observation, instead of taking somebody else data, or somebody else data that come from their observations. Okay? Source for and analyze evidence methods, deductive and analogical in terms of library research, and collect and analyze data methods, descriptive and empirical in empirical science. In terms of library based research purpose, Okay, its purpose is it purposes new theory and or insight in a thesis and support essay format. And in another side, interpret findings in relation to theory and prior findings. Okay, in an IMRAD format, that is introduction, methods, result, and discussion. Library-based research argues for the acceptance and significance. Okay, the same thing happens in another side also. The purpose in the first okay side is to build theory, and the result is theoretical. Okay, that provides hypothesis also. And in another side also there is the purpose is to build theory, and the result is descriptive and experimental. It shows that these two fields, okay, both humanities as well as natural sciences, they begin and conclude the inquiry almost in the same way. Okay, only the difference lies in their methodology and their definition of data. Their management and interpretation differ, since humanists often rely on the other scholars already published ideas and reflections for data that we have seen in the table, while scientists, okay, that is under natural sciences, tend to prefer direct observation. They go into the field, they observe the phenomena, and they collect the data, and they measure the data. Okay, they interpret the data, so they rely on their own direct observations. Okay, and citing from Pierre et al., the writer says that humanists too should adapt empirical research. So this is the necessity at present if we want humanities to come ahead. So and it can be done in the form of new humanities, that is humanities. So various methods, various research designs, data collection procedures, experiments, statistical analysis, such as the use of SPSS, as well as communicating results in public, these various things should be done, and humanities should incorporate these various things. Doing so, humanities could be more effective and credible form of knowledge production, as well as it can recover the lost dignity of the humanities itself. And the writer said that if humanities incorporates okay a bit of the scientific method in their inquiries, okay, they can means humanities can or could be more effective. Humanities could be more significant as well as beneficial. To expose the potentiality of humanities, the writer also presents a case. And the writer said that explaining is what characterizes the natural sciences. So explaining, natural sciences means explaining. Explaining has a close affinity with natural sciences. And natural sciences are interested in explaining the causality, that is explaining how a element or phenomena causes B. So how A causes B. For example, natural sciences explain how a given virus causes a given disease. Means it explains the formation of the virus, its chemical composition, and the ways of its cure, etc. On the other hand, understanding and interpretations are what characterize humanities. Explaining is related to natural science. Understanding and interpretations are related to humanities. Okay. For example, here, um, that made it okay be the element. So understanding and interpretations are, they measure things in humanities. They carry the major feature here. And humanities discerning and recognizing the individual psychological and socio-historical conditions that made it the B element or phenomenon. In the case of that case, we can see that very case that the writer has raised, for example, the disease. A humanist analyzes the conditions and impacts of the disease. Okay, what we said regarding natural sciences, we said that the natural scientists, okay, they explain how a given virus causes a given disease by explaining how the formation of the virus, its chemical composition, and the ways of its cure. While in the case of humanities, what they do is, okay, they analyzes the condition and the impact of the disease. So impact of the disease. the condition of the disease, impact of the disease. The disease is interpreted as the result of a given psychological existential condition of the subject, its effect in the society. Okay, in the society, like social discrimination and like that. So more understanding and many other interpretations come under this field. And the writers say that there are many more cases, there are many, so many cases where the significance provided by the humanities ended up creating more awareness and a more effective response than the meaning provided by the natural sciences. It does not mean that natural science is nothing. Okay, natural sciences are also very much important. The researches under natural sciences have a greater significance in the society. However, at the same time, okay, we cannot undermine the significance of humanities. And there are so many other cases that, where the researches or the, let's say, understanding and interpretations provided by humanities carry additional significance. Okay, and the writer says that, however, the humanists should regain their proper contact with reality. This is the necessity that humanists should do. And many institutions are also still promoting humanities, since they have understood the strength of humanities in creating value-based society. So some institutions, they are giving emphasis on humanistic researches also, because they have understood what humanities is and what humanities can bring the benefit for the society. According to George Doran, or rational humanities should have the project with SMART objectives. SMART means SMART, specific, measurable, assignable, realistic, and time related. Means such objectives should be there under humanities. Okay, the researches under humanities. And the writers say that humanistic inquiry should meet REAL, okay, real requirements or the directions, which means reasonable, empirical, applicable, and logical. And these things should be managed if humanities, okay, if we want to bring humanities in the front line. And the research is got to be scientifically and institutionally credible as well as dignified. And the humanities should reform a powerful unit with the natural sciences that can be very beneficial for the society. And the fourth point that the writer raises is, remember that the humanities have always taken progressive stance within society. Humanities have always taken progressive stance within societies, human societies. They have the strength to deal with the past in an organic way, interpret the present, and also predict the future, even without losing its touch with the reality. It means humanities also could be most powerful and reliable source for a critical assignment of technological advancement. They could well dig into technologies, means they can incorporate the technologies into their fields, and they can come up with credible interpretations of their stance of the art, their potentiality, okay, their limitations, advantages, their danger. And these many things should be interpreted. They have to be analyzed, and humanities should be brought ahead. They could, okay, humanities could tell us the difference, what is the difference between a tablet application that fights social discrimination and one that instead of favoring it, that stands against it. Likewise, humanities also could interpret the progressive aspect of new technologies, as well as find a golden middle between technophilia and technophobia, and they can continue the progress of new and new technological inventions. So this potentiality is there. So even in the past, humanities always stood with, let's say, progressive stance. In the present, okay, somehow they are somehow put in the backward position. However, because of their potentialities, they can come ahead, and they can bring our society ahead. Thus, some of the most progressive academic institutions in the world, okay, they have embraced excellent research and teaching programs in digital humanities. Doing so, they are consciously refusing to get old. For example, the writer gives the example of King's College, Harvard University, okay, MIT, and like this. So they have understood the real strength of humanities. They have understood what humanities can do, and they have also tried to reform the, let's say, position of humanities. They have tried to revise their courses, and they have tried to incorporate so many other, let's say, fields within themselves. They have tried to incorporate technological aspect within them. For example, digital humanities is coming up with a greater strength. People are accepting the strength of digital humanities. It is also the necessity of the present society, and such things are also taking place. And the writer's point is that, okay, in humanities, so the point in humanities is not to accept new technologies in principle, but rather to give proper careful scrutiny to them, as well as to promote scientific criticism grounded and motivated by scientific claims. And humanities, in fact, can incorporate these various things, okay, technology, new technology, various research methods, and the principles of natural sciences can come under humanities. Various the existing reality can be addressed. The existing problems of the people can be solved. Proper communication between the institutional interlocutors can be maintained. And by doing all these things, humanities can come ahead in the form of, let's say, humanities. And thus humanities is the necessity of the present society, according to the writer. This is, let's say, simple understanding of this text. Up to here, up to this part from my side, I have understood these things. Okay, I may not have understood or I may not have gone into the depth of this chapter up to this part, but this is my understanding, and I have tried to share my understanding with all of you. Thank you very much. And the remaining part has been dealt by Rajkumar Sharma sir. Okay, thank you very much, and namaste.